installation of new additional application server to support the load. So yesterday we have done the new additional application server. We have installed it. Okay. So now let's discuss about the one more work process, DVEB. After the background jobs, we have the message server. The message server means SMMS, right? So what is the use of the message server means? Message server will perform the load distribution to so available app servers here. Message server will perform the load distribution to the available app server distribution to so available application servers here. Load distribution to available application servers here. So message server will work. So based upon the groups. Based upon the groups which based upon the logon groups here. Based on the logon groups which we create in the SMLG transaction code. Here. So which means SMM message server, the basic functionality of the message server is to forward the request to distribute the load to the available application server. If you are the only one application server, if you directly connect to the application server, will not give you any trouble. So if you are the more than 2 application servers are there, so this is the your SAP application server, right? So here you have the ASCS instance. This is the application server here. So you have the one more application server is here, which you installed recently, right? So this is the ASCS instance. ASCS means where we have the message server and NQ server is available. So these are the work process here. Work process dialog, update, right? Background, so gateway, spool available, and every application server you have the dispatcher is available here. Dispatcher, right? Here also we have the dispatcher, then remaining work process are available here. Dispatcher and remaining work process are available here. So here what's happening here? So if you are only one person, one application server, you can directly connect it by bypassing the ASCS instance. You can directly connect it here, right? Directly you can connect it here. So but you have the one more application server also available. If you are only directly connecting to this application server, in any case, if this is the down, then you cannot connect to the other application server. Why? Because you are dedicatedly connecting to the particular application server only, right? You are dedicatedly connecting to the particular application server. So that what will happen? So this will not route the request to the here. So in this case, SAP recommending if you have the more than one application server is available, so connect via ASCS instance, so that message server will distribute the load to both the application servers simultaneously, which means in case of this, it will load the request to the here, it will load the request to the here, it will send the request to the here, it will send the request to the here. Both the application servers will handle the similar load. It will handle it. Both the application servers will handle the similar load here, right? So here, in this case, if you connect to the here, the message server will distribute the load to the here and here as well. So that what will happen in case of this is down, then it will route the request to the only one application server. In case of this is down, this will load the request to the here. Who is doing? Message server. Message server means, so message server will perform the load distribution to the available app servers, load distribution to the available application servers here, and also it will perform the so load distribution happens based upon the groups which will create in the SMLG transaction code. So go to the system here, suppose like go to the NWD1 system here, right? So Rebex during the logon. So during the logon, so here, so this is the system here. So this is the system here. So suppose like go to the NWD1 system here, right? So Rebex during the logon. So Rebex during the logon. So Rebex during the logon. So here, so this is the system here. So Rebex during the logon. So Rebex during the logon. So here, so this is the system here. So Rebex during the logon. 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 So Rebex du right? So you can log into the NW1 system here. So then go to SM51 to show the how many application servers are active. So local time in the application server is not correct. Local time in the application server is not correct here. Okay. So that's fine. Legal time. SMLG logon groups here. So here you have the two application servers are there. Here we need to maintain the groups here, right? So how the distribution option means based upon the group here. Suppose like so India. So India group I am creating here. Then all India group I am assigning the so respective instances I am assigning here. Respective instances I am assigning here. Same group India group I am assigning the same SMLG. So here what I am doing here. So SMLG. So here local time on the application server is not correct. Is there anyone done the changes in the system? Uh, yes, first week. That is only local, right? What the dump is saying here, the runtime analysis. Oh, there are a lot of dumps today, 11 dumps here. Illegal, that case, illegal local time here. The local time on the application server is not correct. Application server in the local time is not correct. System exit. How to correct the error here? Time on the application server might have set to forward or back in the system. Make sure that time and time zones on the application server database time zone should match and then restart the system. So 942, 942, both are in the same database, and that's fine here. Then that's fine. Both are same. Let me go to SMLG. So just select the button. So let's give the same India group. Then so it's supported. Now it's working. Okay. So it's created. So for the India group, you assigned the two application servers. Then so India users, all the India users, they can log into the either this application server or this application server. That is, system will decide. Who will forward the request means message server will distribute the load here. Suppose if you choose the so something like public group, all the public users everybody should log into the only one application server. If you choose it here, if you give only one application server, so while connecting to the message server you have to define the group here, right? Just go to the logon pad, click on the create the new connection here. So normally as of now we have used the individual application server here, but now you are connecting through group server selection you are using here, group server selection you are using here through message server. So message server will work based upon this logon groups here, right? So then here, then NW1, then SMLG group you have to suppose like groups, just a description you can give the groups here. Then SID is the NW1. Then here groups, so here message server details you have to type it here like SAP. So training 1, then 3601 is the port number. Sir, how can we know the port number means? If you go with the SMMS message server, so is the transaction code to check the whether the message server is running or not. So then it will give you the information here. What is the port number for message server here, right? What is the port number for the message server? It will give you the information, right? So here 3601 here, right? So then 3601. if you type the groups should be displayed here. The groups should be displayed here. The groups will come to this picture here in the group server selection here, right? The groups will come to the groups will come to this picture here. So which means, so message server will work based upon the groups here, right? So now you connected through message server. Now you connected through message server here. Message server you are connecting. So now when you are logged into the system, one application server is down, other will take care of the request. Still you can able to log into the SAP system. Still you can able to log into the SAP systems here. SAP systems here. Still you can able to log into the SAP system here. Why? Because if one is down, why? Because here message server is routing the request to the available application servers. Available application servers, message server is routing the request. So still you can log into the one user in the other application server, remaining users are in the one application server, remaining users are in the one application server. So like that you can log into the each and every application server. The message server will take care of the load balancing activities here. Load balancing activities here. So here the groups in the message server, if you see it here, the groups selection is very important here. So you are not directly connecting to the custom application server here. Through via message server, groups you are connecting here, groups. So here you need to provide the message server details. So 363601, that is the message server port number. Then what is the groups you are connecting, that groups you have to give it here. So normally it should come like India, whatever the groups we created, the groups should come here. So we have not received that groups, means it is not updated. Still it's not updated. These groups are not updated. So then if you go to the SN due to this time zone issues or some issues, the groups are not updated here. So via groups, we may have to connect to our respective application server. So something like that. So default groups, India groups, default groups. So each and every group we have to configure it here. Each and everything we have to configure it here. So if one is down, so you have one more application server, we can log into that application server here. So that's why some customers, they will, so only dedicated users, they will, America users, they will connect to the one group, and India users, they will connect to the one group. So that, so here default this users or India users are connecting to via this group. Then this group is assigned to the two application servers. Then so users will be routed to these two application servers. Users will be routed. If one is down, others is active. One is active, others is down, then it will route the request here. But the people are connecting to the public group, but the public group is assigned to the 00 only. If the 00 is down, then they cannot log into the 07. Why? Because your group is assigned to the only one application server here. So here we can see the response time of the each and every application server here. Here we can see the response time of the each and every application server. What is the response time? And all the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it here in the SMLG. SMLG is the transaction code to create the logon groups, as well as we can also check the response time, how speed the application server is responding, how many users are logging to this group. So all the information will be populated here. All the information will be generated in the here, right? So SM13, let me see, are there any updates failure? So nothing failure. So okay, so this is the way. So we can connect through groups here. Through connect via groups, we can connect it via groups. We can connect it here via groups. We can connect it here. The message server will perform the load distribution to the among the application server. Among the application server, it will perform the load distribution here. Load distribution here. It will perform the load distribution among the application servers. Among the application server here, right? So let me show you. So since I'm doing the some restart, here we can observe it in in the AL08 transaction code. We can observe it how the load is distributing to the among the application servers and all those things. We can observe it.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, Mohan.
Yes, tell me, Mohan.
Hello. While you are starting the SAP, it was one pop-up is coming that 300 response time, something it was coming. What is that meaning? Can you?
When?
Just now you have started the server, right?
Yes, started the server.
When you started the server, you have got it for a 300 response time. You have got the one pop-up box.
Yes. We got the one pop-up box. Pop-up.
Yeah. For what the purpose of that?
That is the Internet Explorer blocking the browser issue. That is the browser issue.
Okay.
That is the browser issue. That we can. That is the Internet Explorer. Actually, there is a this. We need to put into the exception list or trusted list. We have to keep it. Then,
Okay.
then what will happen? We won't get that pop-up. That is the common. That is the non-issue.
Of course. Okay. Just I have got it. Thank you.
Sir, hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the SMLD response time is there, right, sir? How much the response time we need to consider, sir? If the system
depends upon the company. So some company 4 minutes. So the response time is more than 10,000. If above 5,000, some companies will consider as a system behaving very badly. If more than that, so it's behaving very badly, something like that. So the response time they will consider as a milliseconds. So means how fast response system is responding to your request. That is the responding here. If it is the 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 above, then 10,000 above, then system having some slowness issues. It's load issues. So then we have to check what went wrong and all those things we need to check it out that one.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, this response time which we saw here, is it the same which we see in ST03N? Is it the same one?
Same response time. That is the overall workload analysis, including the response time and everything.
Okay.
SMLG. So here load distribution. Here we can see the response times actually. It's coming as a 0, 0, no users. So something wrong here. So normally how it will be displayed means, let me show you here. So if I go with the normal, that is wrong. So it is giving the very false information, means so something is not running in the jobs here. That's the reason. So it's giving. So if you go to the 3601, you select it. See here, internal error. This reference code should be handled by the message server layer. So groups are not displaying after the restart. So some issues here. So that's why it's not displaying the response time also. Response time also it's not displaying. Might be issue with the any dumps. You can see it here. Let's review the uncaught exceptions. Will not try and see it identity change. Okay, that is fine. Is it someone wrongly performed any client copies? Deletion performed. Who done the deletion here? Here someone performed the deletion, client copy deletion 11.6 the basis user. Delete the complete client. 001 means it's a master client. All the data will be deleted from the master client. The people don't know. That's why I'm told that. So don't use this deletion and everything. Other batch people are using this one. Definitely during this time. So who logged in, then I will get the some clues. I will block his email, his ID in the system. I know who did it what, but I will block his access and everywhere. Multiple times I informed this person. 138. If I go to here in the server and if I search it out in my logs, so I can find out who is the user is logged in and what activities he, then definitely I can find out, I can trace it out. But let me see the offline, not now. Because you guys don't know about this transaction code fine, but the guys they're joining from the other batches. So those batch people are doing here. Okay. So 101 they have created. Deletion, deletion, all those things activities are doing. Okay. So that's fine. So you can see here the load balancing SMLG. So it's not displaying the data. So it's not displaying the data. So which means there are some issues or some jobs or something is not running here to collect the data here. So go to the SM37 here. Go to the SM37. So see, are there any jobs or failure or not? See here, jobs are getting failure. So jobs are getting failure, and so there are no standard background jobs here. So standard background jobs are not running here. So what we can go to the SM36. Okay, run the standard background jobs, So default to jobs as well. So in the system, this default jobs are important to collect some data, response times, history, workload, all those things. These are required here. That's why this job should run it. So these jobs are not running. That's why we don't see any response times here. So now we have scheduled the jobs here. What will happen? So now the jobs will run in our system. It will collect the data. It will throw the data to the so it will display the data here. Right? So that's what we'll do here. So now immediately it won't affect. So it will take some time to display the data. To the here and everything everywhere here. Right? So normally how we can see the response times and load distribution and everything here. If we go to the system here. I can show you in the other systems how this thing is running here. If I go to the one of the IDS system. So if you go to the SMLG, the logon groups here. So if you click on this button here, it will show some information like that. So what is the response time in the milliseconds and how many users are connected? So it will give you some information here. In SMLG, the load distribution here. So here we can find out. So what is the load in one application server? If you have the two application server, what is the load? So that information will be displayed. Here in the SMLG. So here, so we can just going to the here while you are configuring this one from the groups here, SMLG. So what you need is here groups and message server port number is required here. That is the 3601. Groups and message server port number is required here. So here, go to click on the create button. Here. Okay. So click on the create button. The next then ECD, then via groups, right? Just you can mark as a groups here, group server selection, right? So then ECD groups, we can connect it. System SID is the ECD. Then here message server details here is like a, so host name is the SAP migration host name. Then 3601 is the syntax we have to give it. Then if you select the groups, then it will display like default group you assigned, right? This group is assigned to the multiple host, right? Then what you can do, so then entry will be created here. Then when you click on this button, via groups, then via message server, your request is routing to the available application server here. If the one application server, it will keep on routing the request to the only this application server only. If the two application servers are there, message server will check the load at load, depends upon the load. So one request is here, one request is here, one request is here, round robin mode. So it will route the request to the, we have the available application server. If you have the two applications or three application server, your request will be routed to the among the application server equally. It will distribute the load to the among the application servers. Okay, equally it will distribute the load to the among the application servers here, like that. So you will get the screens, you will get the prompts, you will get it out in the systems here, like that. We have to configure the groups, then we have to assign it in the systems here. SMLG is the transaction code here. In this transaction code, you have the groups, right? You have the groups configured here. So you need to configure the groups here. Click on the create button. Then you can configure the something like that RFC group or public group, whatever. So then assign the application server. Here you are not connecting to the application servers directly. So via groups, you are connecting to the application server. So, but this group is pointing to the two application servers. Then your request will be either forwarded to the that application server or this application server. If one is down, then you will be forwarded to the another application server. Why? Because the group is assigned to the two app servers. So based upon the groups, then message server will route the request to the either this application server, or based upon the group, message server will route the request to the this application server. It will route the request. It will route the request here, right? So that is what it should happen in the systems here. Okay. So that is the group will that is the message server will distribute the load distribution. But how to perform it here means, here you need to configure the groups. Logon groups you have to configure it, which means you need to select the group server selection. So then here you need to enter the SID, then message server details and port number, then just browse it, then your details will be populated here, your RFC details or whatever the details, your details will be details here, it will be listed here. When you click on this button, then message server will route the request here. Message server will route the request to the available application server. Message server will route the request to the available application server here. So like this, the distribution will happen. So we can check it out how the load distribution is happening and everything. If we go to the SMLG, so here we can see the response times. Response times we can check it out here. Go to the load distribution. So then how many users are connected? Then what is the response time? All the information we can see it here. All the information. What is the response time in the milliseconds? It's very fast. It's responding very fast. Like 4 users are connected. So then, so like that it will be displayed here. Here one more application server. How many application servers are there? It will be connected here. It will be displayed. The data will be displayed in this case here. So in our case, it is not displaying because of the, so something internal functionalities are not working. That's why it's not displaying the any data in our systems. Normally it should display. So there is a message server issue. That's why it's not connecting here. So something time zone issue or something is happening. If you restart it, it will restart the entire system, that will connect it here. Okay. So that's what will happen in the systems. Okay. That is the message server related details. how the message server will perform the load balancing? Via groups will perform the load balancing. Then where can we create the groups? SMLG. SMLG is the transaction code. So here we can create the groups here. Message server logon groups creation. Logon groups creation, we can perform it via message server. Message server will distribute the load. So message server means it is available in the ASCS instance. So if you have more than one application server, recommendation to connect from groups, groups only. Why? Because we can restrict also. Suppose India users, they don't want to connect to the one application server, you can remove the group from the application server here. Just you can remove the server from the groups. You can remove the server from the groups. You can remove it. Just go to the here. So then we can remove it. We can remove the group SMLG. Then we can remove it. If you don't want to transfer the groups, so suppose like if you don't want India users should not connect to the one application server, you want to put the restrictions. I don't want India users to connect to this application server. Remove the instance from the group. Remove the instance from the group. Now you have India users will connect only 00 group only. 00 group only they will connect it here, right? So that's where we can minimize it. So we can restrict to connect only one application server. I want public user should be connect to all the groups. Then presently only one is assigned. Then click on the create button. Then just click on the public. Then you can just add the one more app server. One more app server you can add it here. Copy. Then save it here. Copy and save it here. Then public group via groups you are connecting. Then this group is assigning to the 2 application server. So your request either be here or in this application server or in this application server, your request will be routed. Means equally the distribution will happen in the systems. Equally the distribution will happen in the systems here. This is where you need to connect it. Okay. So that's what you need to do it in our systems. Okay. So it's clear. Any questions, anyone? So this will be refreshed. Keep on using the response time is live response time. Keep on now 3 users. So based upon the users, so the response time will be displayed here. How much response time and everything here. So based upon the users. So we are the 2 users. Then so what is the response time, application server time? It will be displayed here based upon the users. Okay. So please practice this one. So and yeah, please practice this one. Message server and gateway. Okay, you please practice this.